My name is Mohammed and I'm an immigrant. The country I immigrated from is Ethiopia, in the eastern part of Africa. I was a student when I left.
Relatively easy for you.
I left Ethiopia as an exchange student, and I actually went to Norway before I came here. And as a student in Norway, I only had 1 year to stay there and had to go back to my country. But while I was there was a revolution. So I went to France, and while I was there, I met some people, and they said, why don't you go to the United States? So I came in not planning to immigrate, but to check it out and see how it was. So I came in as a tourist, and then that got changed into a student visa when I got accepted in a school. And then after I graduated, I tried to apply for a green card. Yeah, what happened was we had, because the country I came from was a close friend of the United States, there was no way I could ask for asylum. So what I got was what's called temporary protective status. And this is a status that you get, you have no green card, you cannot leave the country, but you can stay here and work. They give you work permit and the status. And the status is every year the president has to continue that status for your country. So from the time I got the TPS, for the next 20 some odd years, I was in limbo. I couldn't leave the country, I couldn't get a green card, so I had to wait for something else to happen. And that is when my family came in as refugees, my mother, brothers and sisters. I had a brother and a sister that came ahead of me, and I was the third person to come here. And so what happened was when over the years, when my mom and my younger brothers, 4 of them, brother and sister, 2 brothers, 2 sisters came here, it was actually the reverse. I got my green card because after my mother became a citizen, now she could apply for me, even though I came here years before they did, like 10 years. When I was going to school in Ethiopia, our teachers were American. They were Jesuit brothers, and so we had this in the movies, and the whole thing that you see was mostly the United States. Looking back at it now, I sometimes wonder what would have happened if I stayed in Norway, because it would be a totally different lifestyle. Memories, things is important to me. I have my father's still there, and I went to see him last year, and I have younger brothers and sisters. But since I've lived here all this time, it's very difficult to get back into the country, precisely because there's a lot of changes that happened, and so right now I'm here. The pros would be traveling. It's easier if you have an American passport. It opened doors for you. You could do, if you get into a situation where you're back home and you get in trouble, then the American government will spring you. They will actually come and help you out because you're an American citizen. Along those lines. Cons are kind of more difficult. It's a stressful country to live in. Job-wise, like sometimes I'm envious of the rest of the country when they have 1 month or 5 weeks of vacation, where we don't get here. A lot more job security other places, and then if you get into politics, then it's a whole different thing. But overall, though, what we need to do is to learn more and educate immigrants about the system so we could get find it easier to help them out. The way the immigration laws, they are trying to change them is very difficult for me to understand, because we have the people here and everybody agrees on one thing: we cannot deport 12 million people. That's a given. How do you deal with changing the system? I would rather have the same thing that happened in '68, that in '86, when you have a cutoff time, and anybody who came before that time would get a citizenship or a green card. But the way it is going right now, what I don't agree with is they are bargaining things. Like, for example, the lottery is how a lot of African, Caribbean, and other people come here. There's a lottery system, and the Senate gave that one away already. And they're trying to stop sibling. You cannot bring your sibling in. So those kind of things should not happen. That you should say, okay, here you give them a time limit. It might take longer to become a citizen, but you should give them